Welcome back into another edition of the Final Whistle Sports Podcast. We took a week off. It happens. Work caught the better of me at least, and then I forgot to text Joe back, so that kind of led that down the barn burner for no episode last week. So we apologize, but we're back. Happy Thanksgiving almost to everyone. So wish you guys all a happy Thanksgiving and enjoying this holiday weekend. We're gonna talk some shop, talk some NFL week 11, week 12, little our favorite Thanksgiving foods. And Joe said he's got a surprise game for us today. So Joe, how are we doing? Long time no see.
Yes, sir. A little Thanksgiving special here we got going on. Always good tradition. Thanksgiving, one of my favorite holidays because I get to chow down on some food. But yeah, no, good to be good to be back.
We're
Uh,
in trouble.
took a week off. It is what it is. We're here. We're here. Yeah, we're here. That's all. That's actually, Blaine, before we continue, did something interesting this weekend, and I
Oh
think
yeah,
you would enjoy it.
what'd you do?
It's called Upper Deck. No free ads, no free ads to them, no free ads. Upper Deck, and what they do is they go to every baseball stadium, take out a couple seats in the 300, 400 levels, and set up kind of a top golf for the folks that don't know what a top golf is. They put a mat down for golf, and you
Mhm.
bring your clubs, and you swing in holes, and the ball lands onto the baseball field. So it was real cool, great
Ooh.
experience.
Did you go to
They limit
Citizens?
Yeah, we were at Citizens Bank Park, me and a couple of my buddies of mine, and it was cool because they stop you from only bringing in the highest club you can bring in is an 8 iron. Everything you can bring your wedges and all that in. Well, in like my head, I'm like an 8 iron, like wow, that would really go far because like I can hit an 8 iron pretty far, on like 165 yards usually.
Hmm. Yeah.
So the wind though was howling that thing. So we actually ended up taking a shot right behind home plate, but we're like at the 400 level. So you're sitting up high up, ball just floats for days. So they tell you like you're not supposed to swing as hard as you can, but I'm like, you know what? We're behind home plate. I'm swinging for the fences here. So I swing with my 6 iron, hit it good, and it actually hits the wall. Like it hit the right field wall, which is probably about 390.
Okay.
Um, but the wind was howling. It was unbelievable. It was a great experience, really cool to do. So I'm glad to say that when I go to Citizens Bank Park, I could say I swung a golf club, and I know if I sat here, I can get it to there with this club. So it's a pretty cool
Nice.
experience. Yeah, yeah.
So how
So
does
yeah,
so how do they do that? Do they just rent out the stadium then, I'm assuming?
yeah, I mean the stadium is not being used obviously right now. So what they do is they'll go to like certain sections. Like we had two in right field, like one section the 200s,
Oh,
another one the
you
400s.
you rotated
Yeah,
around the stadium.
yes, you walk from station to station.
Okay.
So sometimes you'll take it at first base side, right field, left field, upper left field, and then behind home plate. But you go up and down all over. And then what they do is you walk into like your station, and it'll tell you like the flag you should be shooting at. There's like 6 or 7 flags throughout center field, left field, and right field. And they'll be like, okay, it's this distance from this shot. Like that's what it is. So it does play as like a course technically.
Hmm.
Um, Sometimes you're just pounding the ball to pound the ball though. So, but
No,
no, it
that's
was a lot of
actually
fun.
that's sick.
Yeah, really cool experience. Glad I was able to do it. Yeah, and that's all. So,
No, that's fascinating. No, I was in a wedding this past weekend and we kind of were talking about it. And which is the one thing that I've learned this just like this is kind of just small talk now, but like being in a wedding completely different than actually just going to one.
oh yeah,
About like I work. It felt like it was a job that this past weekend.
oh yeah.
So I was like, great experience, had a blast, but I was like, man, I'm gassed. I was gassed when I got home Sunday night. I was like, man, I'm gonna sleep forever. But actually, I want to get your 2 cents on this. Just quick question before we jump into NFL. All right, because it's Thanksgiving. Are you one of those people that start celebrating Christmas after Halloween, or do you wait for after Thanksgiving? I'm a huge proponent of I can't do Christmas until Black Friday because I love Thanksgiving personally. So
If it was my choice and if it was ideal for me, it would actually not be until like December 1st or December 10th.
Okay.
Like I would love the wait because December's more the month for me. Like that's Christmas.
Okay.
November still for me is Thanksgiving. Like that's just what it is. However, I don't have that choice much because I am married actually. So the wife, if I could let her, November 1st, she would want to put up the Christmas tree and do everything there. So actually today, we actually have time before Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving. Right now we're recording. I might actually bring down a Christmas tree and get it done just to get it done. So,
Oh, so
but
starting it early, starting it early.
yeah, it's just more just to get it done. But like if I had to really choose, it wouldn't be till December 1st, actually. So
Okay. Gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
No, because I saw there were so many people that I saw this past week, and they had all their Christmas stuff up and already, and I was like why? Like you do know that there's another holiday, right?
The
I don't know.
benefit I will say about doing it earlier is like, for instance, if you do have to do like outdoor lights and stuff like that, like
That's
doing it
fair.
earlier, in November, the weather's typically nicer. It's not bad right now on like the East Coast, at least where I'm at. Like it's in the 40s and 50s, so it's not terrible outside. But
Mhm.
there's sometimes where you'll catch like you're banking on that Black Friday weekend and it might be 20, 30 degrees outside. Like I don't you wouldn't want to be outside
Yeah.
doing your lights. So I understand and also like if you're putting in that much work to put stuff up, and if for only to be up like a month and a half, it's like, well, what's the point of me putting in that much work to
That
do it all?
actually doing the work at that point. That's fair.
Yeah.
I can see that. All right.
So I understand the fascination of putting it up earlier and getting into the Christmas spirit. I completely agree. But like I really like Thanksgiving. It's like a top three, top four holiday of the year for
Oh,
me.
yeah.
I'm able to eat. I love football, so I enjoy it completely. Like there's nothing else I could say. Like it's great. So
All right. Perfect. All right, let's talk some week 11 shop. Couple of real major games that kind of took place. The real overarching thing is an injury that took place in one of them. Um, Ravens on Thursday night, now last Thursday night, kind of handled Cincinnati, but the real issue is that Joe Burrow is done for the year due to a torn ligament in his wrist. Bengals season is pretty much a wrap now moving forward. No Joe Burrow. Baltimore looks dominant as ever, as now they are now the one seed in the AFC after Kansas City lost to Philadelphia this past Monday night. And that was the rematch of the Super Bowl. Philadelphia took down KC 21-17. Probably a game Kansas City wins if Marquez Valdes-Scantling learns how to catch. But, here we are. Joe, just give me a couple takeaways from this past week.
couple takeaways. Once again, people are complaining about Thursday night games that there's too many players injured once again in a Thursday night game, and these games shouldn't be played on Thursday night. I'm like, sometimes I'm with it, sometimes I'm not. Just unfortunate. But yeah,
Yeah,
that game,
and Burrow wasn't the only injury on Thursday night
yeah,
either.
Mark Andrews also went down. He's going to be out with significant time. But weird thing to think about is Joe Burrow now another season ending early. I think this is what now two, maybe three out of the 4 or 5 years that he's been in it now.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of going down a similar line to a man that retired early, and we were shocked about in Andrew Luck.
Oh,
Could we
you're
could we see
are you gonna start towing that line right now?
could we see something where Burrow maybe only gives it a couple more years and maybe gets out of the game a little bit earlier to maybe save himself?
Wow.
I'm not putting allegations or anything out there, no rumors or nothing, but I mean we're going down a similar line here. So, but let's get back on topic here. Uh, Steelers Browns, unbelievable game to watch. Defensive battle. Matt Canada's gone. Thank God for that. But the Browns pull it out. DTR pulls it through once again. And Browns only one game out of the AFC North right now. So maybe with the Mark Andrews injury, maybe they could pull their way up. I don't know. It's the Browns, man. It's Cleveland back. And
Wrong.
once again, week in and week out, I hate to say it, we see it with the Chargers. Once again, they choke.
I knew
It's
you were going to go
unbelievable.
there. I knew you were going there.
Once again, they choke. It's unbelievable to see. And the thing is like this game, I'm not even blaming Justin Herbert at all. Justin Herbert played a great game. Quentin
Mm-hmm.
Johnson went to the movies before this game, ate some popcorn, had butter all over his fingers. I don't know. How do you miss that ball? Unbelievable. But Brandon Staley, once again, you terrible defensive call. I don't get it. Like the blame is put on the quarterback most times than not. I don't put any blame on Justin Herbert at all in this game. And most of the time, their losses, I don't put much blame on them because their defense gives up so many points. Apparently, you have this great defense with Derwin James, Bosa, Asante Samuel Jr., this guy, that guy. Oh, yeah. But you give up over 30 points almost every game. Like, how do you expect to win? Like, you
Yeah.
can't. You can't win. But again, it's just like a nightmare they live in, right? And it just keeps occurring every single week. It's unbelievable to see. But yeah, those were the big takeaways from 1 o'clock, from the 1 o'clock games, except the one and only, the king of New Jersey, Mr. Tommy DeVito, taking out the Washington Commanders.
The
Awesome
Italian,
celebration.
the Italian stallion.
Tell me that wasn't a celebration of celebrations. I was like, yeah, Tommy DeVito, let's go, my
I
man.
got your text message when I landed, and I was like, I just want to throw up.
I mean, I don't know what else to say because Washington's D line got, I think, 9 sacks on the day or 10 sacks on the day, something like astronomical. And truthfully enough, they held Barkley in check. It's just like Tommy DeVito's
Exhausting.
just having ball, like he was just throwing balls like to wide open guys. I was like, what is their secondary doing? It's unbelievable.
The
So
the epitome of the Washington Commanders this year has been playing to the level of their competition. We lost twice to the Giants and where we laid fat eggs, and yet then we almost beat Philadelphia both times. It absolutely makes no sense.
and could they shock the world on Thanksgiving Day
I
and beat the Dallas Cowboys?
I hope so. Just give me something. Give me something that I'm thankful for. Football's over for me, but like I'll be extremely thankful if we get a dub on Thursday.
It's
Just to
hilarious.
ruin Dallas's day.
That's hilarious. Also another, not another, an impressive comeback for the Detroit Lions as well.
That was
Um,
my takeaway.
yeah,
That's my
big
takeaway this week.
big time win. Way to come back down, what, 14, I think, entering the third quarter or halfway through the third quarter against Chicago. Chicago looked like they were playing really good ball with Justin Fields back, and they're able to
Mm-hmm.
move the ball. Jared Goff's able to make a good couple throws and lead this team to a victory 31-26 over the Bears. And they sit at 8-2 now, I think?
8-2,
Eight and
man.
two. One game behind the Eagles. I mean, thoughts on that game?
So this is my this was the game that really caught my eye, right? And I think this was a make it or break it kind of game for Detroit. Like that's a game every Detroit Lion team loses, except out of this team of this year. Dan Campbell's I think this is where Dan Campbell being a head coach finally came into fruition. A guy that never yields, pushes his players, says we're never truly out of a game, and they epitomize that, right? Like you said, Justin Fields came back, looked phenomenal. They actually looked like Chicago knew how to use him after this month off, right? Of not having him. Jared Goff played the worst game that he's been in Detroit with the three INTs, right? Just bad decision making all over the field in the when it comes to those interceptions. You're down 12, right? With 4 minutes to go. All right, you throw in the towel. That's a loss. Everyone probably takes it, walks away. All right, it's still same old Detroit, right? They're not a true threat in the NFC. when it comes to Philadelphia, San Francisco, even if you want to put Dallas or Seattle in that conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Jared Goff looked like a top 5 quarterback in those last 3 minutes of the game. Threw a dime. Jameson Williams is easily the fastest player on the field when he's out there. It's not even close. And the defense rallied, right? And they made the plays. That's a game where they should have lost, and they came out with a victory. And that proved to me more about Detroit this year than any of their other games because they've kind of been front runners all year. This was
Yeah,
a true game where they had to come from behind and take it from Chicago. Like they'd given the game to Chicago basically throughout the day. And they took it back from them, which was a huge statement win for them, I feel like.
agreed. Do got a point. I mean, we'll get to the Eagles game and Chiefs game in a little bit, but so Eagles win. They're sitting at 9-1. They do still got to go through their gauntlet now of Buffalo, Dallas, Seattle, San Fran, right? Let's say they go potentially 2-2 over that stretch. They got 3 losses.
Mm-hmm.
Lions keep on winning. Say the Lions potentially get a number 1 seed. Eagles get it 2. Eagles now have to go to Detroit. In that game, who are you picking? Would you take the Eagles as the away team and that they're going to still be victorious, or would you take the home team of the Lions in this scenario here?
I'm still taking Philadelphia because you got to beat the team that was the top dog. Philadelphia is the team that's representing the NFC. You got to beat the top dog to be the top dog. That's kind of my mentality. I like it, especially like how the college football playoff could end up being crazy if Georgia somehow loses in the SEC championship or whatever, right? Like, regardless if Georgia loses, they're the 2-time defending national championship. You got to be the top dog. You got to beat the top dog in that instance. So I think Detroit would be absolutely the craziest scene I would see at a football game in a long time if they were hosting the NFC Championship. Be
Yeah,
nuts. But I would
yeah,
have to take Philadelphia because they're the team that's already been there, done that. And Detroit's finally still trying to get onto that precipice of actually being a true contender.
sure, sure. Yeah, I think it's a lot closer though than people think. Like I had a discussion with a couple Eagles fans, unfortunately here, and they were saying like it's Jared Goff. Like, what has he done? I go, well, Jared Goff led the Rams, not led him, but like was a Super Bowl quarterback at one time for the Rams. And it was in a lot of high pressure situations with the Rams. I'm like, it's not like he doesn't have experience, and then it's not like he's like a Daniel Jones out here, right? He
Mm-hmm.
does know how to play quarterback. He is a pretty good quarterback. I mean, in this case, this year, I probably consider him as a top 10, top 12 quarterback
Easily
in
top
the
10
NFL right
quarterback.
now. With that being said, their defense is playing really good ball. They're playing as a good unit, and they have weapons as well. And their offensive line is a top 5 offensive line in the league. I mean, you got to give them credit when credit's due. Now, if the roles are reversed, the Eagles do end up winning a couple of these games on the stretch. Lines fall maybe a game or two, and Detroit has to go to Philadelphia. I don't think there's really a shot then in that case. I think the Eagles, handle their business versus Detroit. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to put that in perspective. Like, okay, Detroit has the home field advantage. What would you think in that case? But I think it would be a lot closer. I still would take the Eagles
Agreed.
in that
100% would be a
situation,
lot closer.
but I think it would be a lot closer. It might be a 3-point game. It might be only a 4-point game instead of if they had to come to the link. I think it might be 7+ in that case.
No,
But yeah, I just want to get your thoughts.
yeah, no, and I think Detroit's stretch is significantly easier, right, than Philadelphia, but and even San Francisco, right? Because Philadelphia and San Francisco have to play each other still.
Yeah,
Um, but like this last 4 game stretch is nothing to really sleep over if you're a Detroit fan, right? These are still 4 no gimmies. You play Minnesota twice, a Minnesota team they're not as good as what they usually are with Kirk, right? But they're a team that's rallying, and their defense has been arguably the most improved from in a year than what they were last year, right? And then you have a Denver team that's streaking. If Denver continues to streak, that's no picnic. And
hmm
then you have the real make it or break it game for Detroit is going to Jerry World on December 30th. So we're gonna learn a lot about Detroit those last 4 weeks of the year for sure.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, keep moving forward here. The 4 o'clock games were kind of a little more in the duds. Niners handled their business
Your
against the Bucks,
duds.
which I kind of expected. Bucks are
Hmm.
not Bucks. 49ers are streaking pretty good now out of the bye. Took care of their business against Jacksonville. Now took care of their business against the Buccaneers now. Brock Purdy's looking very well. CMC looking good. Everybody kind of getting a little bit healthier. Now also with the return of Deebo Samuel as well. Zach Wilson is getting removed as the starting quarterback for the New York Jets finally. Um, Probably for the best. Let's be honest here. Probably for the best.
He got demoted down to third string.
Yeah, it's, for
Like,
the best.
I mean, this is my 2 cents on the Jets, right? Like having Tim Boyle or Trevor Simeon back there ain't gonna fix their real issue, which is that they can't fucking block. They really cannot block. And the only reason, and I don't think Nathaniel Hackett actually ever got to the point of utilizing Zach Wilson's skill set. He has an electric arm. You got to get, and he's got mobility. And when a team that can't block, you should be rolling him out. And they never really did that into fruition. I mean, the team's not going anywhere. Apparently, Aaron Rodgers said, "Yo, I'm back going to be practicing in 2 weeks," but there's no point in that. You're going to lose probably your next 2 games, and you're out of the playoffs anyway. So, but I think it's for the Jets. It's all for the best. They've stunk it up all year offensively. So it was a decision that was going to come, but I don't think it makes any difference.
Yeah, yeah. No, I figured that was coming as well. Yeah, but Bills bounced back after a little bit of a rough stretch there, so maybe we'll see if they can continue on. And then the Sunday night game, Vikings Broncos, close battle. Josh Dobbs, Russell Wilson. Broncos continue on with their stretch. I think this is now what, 3 or 4 straight victories in a row. They have turned it around from the beginning.
Four in a row.
They have turned it around from the beginning of the year, where everybody, including us here, chastised them. Sean Payton could be fired. Russ Wilson could be out.
Yep.
Next thing you know, they turn it around and, hey, you know what I mean? Broncos pulled it out and they're figuring out ways to win versus a good Vikings team right now.
No, it's not like their wins in this win streak have been like duds, right? Like outside of who they beat Kansas City, you beat Minnesota, you beat Buffalo. Outside of beating Green Bay to start the streak, you really beat 3 quality opponents in a row, right?
Yeah.
And then you get another quality. You get two more weeks of quality opponents in Cleveland and Houston. So you still have like if they keep winning, no one's gonna really want to see this team because then they've beaten everyone that they're trying to get a playoff spot against. So they're
Yeah.
gonna see him again, and Denver's gonna be playing with house money potentially in this home stretch.
Yep.
Yeah, Sean Payton and Russ finally have it clicking enough, right? I don't think it's elite quarterback play, but Russell's playing good, right? You could say top half, I would say, top half quarterback play these last couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the defense is actually looking like the defense that everyone assumed they were going to be, right?
Sure.
Outside
Sure.
of after the 70 piece that Miami really hung up on them, they're arguably a top 10 defense. So outside of that, statistically, which is kind of an outlier game, they're a top 10 unit, which is what we expected them to be. So
Okay. Yeah. No, I completely agree. I completely agree. Yeah. Broncos country. That's right. Um,
don't you start that now.
all right, let's get to the game of the week, game of the year potentially. For folks coming into it, the Swift, the Kelseys took over what was the Super Bowl rematch, Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles ended up pulling it out 21-17 after the Chiefs took I think a 7 or 10 point lead into the halftime there. Um, The Chiefs are held to, I think, 0 points in the second
Yep,
half.
shut out, shut out.
Eagles defense pulls through. Jalen Hurts leads them down the field, gets a touchdown of himself, and ends up getting victorious, and a couple drops by the Chiefs at the end. Kind of cost them the game a little bit. Blaine, thoughts on the win? Um, was it a win by the Eagles, or was it a loss by the Chiefs?
Lost by the Chiefs. I think this is more. We're kind of in the same boat where we were last year with Kansas City, right? Who was going to be the guy to step up outside of Travis Kelce? It's
Mm-hmm.
basically repeating itself all over again. Um, Tony made a couple plays early. Outside of that, did nothing. They really bracketed Kelce in the second half, double or triple coverage. MVS made drop that, of course, that crucial ball. Sky Moore doesn't even look like he steps on the field half the time. And then
Sure.
Rashid Rice dropped a couple balls as well. So, I mean, to be fair, I will give them partial credit that it was raining the entire game, and the ball's wet, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be still going out there trying to make plays, right? So, I think it's same old Chiefs where they were a year ago. Their defense is a lot better, but I saw this stat the other day. Kansas City is the worst scoring offense in the second half in the NFL.
Yes. Correct.
Worst.
Correct.
They are scoring 5 points in the second half.
Correct.
5. That's crazy. You would never think with having Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and being ran by Andy Reid that you'd only score 5 points in the second half. So I think Kansas City is more in trouble than people really realize, unless they can really get this figured out. Because especially after Andy Reid coming off of a bye, you would think that would be the issue he would be solving. And the issue actually looked like it got worse because they got skunked in the second half. So,
Yeah, I think there's 3 points that I'm going to point out there, right? I think Andy Reid off a bye versus another team with a bye is now 3-4. So I think that excludes. If the other team is coming off and playing the week before, then that's when he
then
pulls.
he's when he's elite.
Correct. Yeah. Second, maybe this is the time when the Chiefs are hitting their low point. I think every team hits their
Mhm.
low point at some point in their
Sure.
season as well, and it could be now. There was a lot of things I did like about that game that they did on the offensive side of the ball. And third, I think the departure of Eric Bieniemy actually is giving a little shock to the Kansas City Chiefs. I know a lot of people didn't really think that. They thought Andy Reid's still coaching that team. Like, who really cares about the offensive coordinator? Andy's calling the plays, blah, 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 blah. I mean, now looking at, I don't know, right? Like, they're scoring 17 points in the first half. Okay, that's fine. But when we know it with the Kansas City Chiefs, they were scoring 28, 30, 35, 42 points a game. It's felt like over the last couple of years. Now they lose Bieniemy. Now they're only scoring 20, 23 points a game now.
Right.
What's going on with that? But yeah, the couple things that they did do well in that game, they were able to run the ball. Pacheco ran the ball very, very well, I thought. They were
Mhm.
able to relatively protect Mahomes. Mahomes was able to scramble out the pocket. He was able to move a little bit. Besides wide receivers and tight ends dropping the ball like there was no tomorrow, I really thought their offense could have probably moved. They got themselves, I think, 3 or 4 straight, like 3-and-outs. I'm like, all right, you can't do that against the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm sorry. But their defensive line played great. They got, I'm maybe not over exaggerating. They were getting pressure on pressure against Jalen Hurts all game. Um, and once again, fortunately, Devontae Smith has a big game. And, in the Super Bowl, the same thing happened. Devontae Smith
Right.
had a huge game as well. So they were able to relatively take away A.J. Brown. But Devontae Smith ate and got his and did what he had to do. But yeah, once again, Eagles pulled it out.
DeAndre Swift was the most important player on the field Monday night.
DeAndre Swift is day and night compared to what the Philadelphia Eagles had in Miles Sanders. It's
Oh, it's
unbelievable
not
to
even
say.
close. It's crazy.
When you put a competent running back behind that offensive line, it shows in what DeAndre Swift has. And DeAndre Swift, don't get me wrong, is a very good running back in this league. He proved it with the Lions. The Lions let him go. And then Philadelphia Eagles pick him up, and now he's having one of his best seasons he's ever had. And it shows the lack of what Miles Sanders brought to this team last year. And look how far the Philadelphia Eagles got. Now you actually have a running back that is able to run the
Hmm.
ball, is able to catch out the backfield, able to see the holes and do what he's able to do. And now DeAndre Swift is almost like a top 7 running back in terms of rushing yards this year in the league.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I completely agree. I think though the biggest thing that we noticed on Monday night versus the Kansas City Chiefs was the loss of Dallas Goddard. Though, and as
Right.
much as Dallas Goddard's
Hmm.
season may not show the numbers wise there, but it should have showed in this game, especially. I mean,
Yeah.
there was times over the middle he makes them big plays. Maybe he's more the security blanket for Jalen Hurts. But I noticed
Right.
definitely something in that game versus Kansas City with the loss of Dallas Goddard not playing.
Oh, I agree. I think it really showcased the in between the numbers really getting clogged up because now he opened that up for AJ behind him
Sure.
by being someone who would go up the seam and clear that alleyway. And that's why Devontae really had a big game because he was the one staying on the outside and was getting the one-on-one matchups because they basically did the same thing that they did to Travis Kelce and bracketed him in the middle of the field as soon as he would turn inside.
Yeah. And a lot of teams have now been doing that against Kansas City, especially over the last 4 weeks. I've noticed
Mhm.
the dip in kind of what Kelsey is getting in target. It's like he just can't be single
They
covered
they are
anymore.
just daring they are daring anyone else to catch the ball and beat them.
Agreed. Yeah, and it's not like Kansas City isn't like investing into this position of wide receiver. I mean, they are. Like I think over the last three drafts, they invested either a second or third round into a wide receiver.
Yep.
Um, Rashid Rice is there, and Rice has actually been playing pretty solid this year. But they invested in Sky Moore, who hasn't really done anything this year. MVS, who's so hit or miss. I mean, we saw Monday night a huge drop that he should have caught it. Um, they got what's his name, Justin Watson or something like that.
Yep. The tight
Uh,
end. Yep.
yeah, the tight end who's like a wide receiver now or something like that, trying to catch balls. I think he had 9 targets on the day.
Yeah.
It's just not like that. That's not what it should be. And it also shows that Kansas City's still missing that Tyreek Hill. I mean, Tyreek Hill is,
Yeah.
a game changer in the NFL, game changer for the Miami Dolphins right now, and it shows. But if you put Tyreek Hill back on this Kansas City Chiefs team, I mean, it's it's
It's night
electric.
and it's night and day.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, good win for the Eagles. They continue on their stretch that with only the one loss, keeping the game lead on the Lions right now. But like I said earlier, they continue their gauntlet now. They got Buffalo this week. They got San Fran, Seattle, and Dallas right after that. So they can't look ahead. They got to
All right.
focus on what's right there now.
All right. Quick. Let's do a quick question. I got a question for you. All right. So right now, if the season ended today, right? The Philadelphia Eagles win the NFC and the Baltimore Ravens win the AFC. Let's just say those two are the team to beat in both conferences.
Sure.
For the NFC and the AFC, who is the biggest threat to those teams?
Oh, to them teams.
Yeah, who's the biggest threat
Um,
to them?
I mean, I think the cop out answer for the NFC is the 49ers still.
Yeah.
Um,
I
I
I
just, I mean, what
I
else can
think
you say?
I don't think I still think there's a significant gap between the Niners and the Eagles and everyone else.
Oh, yes, I agree. Yeah, I
So
still think that gap.
that's why I would say the 49ers. I think the AFC you could pick a handful of teams though.
Yeah, I think you can as well. I mean, either you can make a case for, I mean, make a case almost for anybody except now the Bengals and the AFC North, unfortunately. But you can make a
Yeah.
case there. You can make a case for Dolphins, Bills. You make a case for Chiefs. You can make a case for the Jaguars. Maybe even the Texans. I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe even the
even the
Texans.
Texans.
Um, Biggest with the Ravens. Oh, that's a good question. I want to go Chiefs. My heart wants to go with Chiefs, or my mind actually wants to go with Chiefs. But my, my heart wants to go with the team that I said is going to go to Super Bowl from the beginning of the year, the Miami Dolphins. I'm still going to go with the
Yeah,
Dolphins.
ride with the
That
Dolphins.
team is electric, man. if they can actually, the one thing they got
They're
to
starting
do,
to look like a defense now with Jalen Ramsey back there.
they just need to beat a winning team. That's my problem right now. I have with them.
They haven't done that yet.
Like they're in the same boat with Dallas, right? Like Dallas is 7-3 or 6-4, whatever they are.
Yes,
Dallas has not beat a winning team though yet. They lost to San
correct.
Fran. They lost to Philadelphia. Dolphins are in a very similar boat. They lost to the Chiefs, and I
Lost to the
believe,
Bills.
yep. I think they lost to somebody else too. I'm probably missing as well. Um, well, Broncos. Are they a winning team yet?
No, they're 500.
Okay,
They
and
beat
they
they,
lost to the Eagles. The Dolphins
Yep.
lost to Eagles. So the three big winning teams there, right? So that's my issue. Like they haven't beat that winning team. So once they beat that winning team, I'm all in. I'm gonna convince myself that, and I'm still gonna try to convince myself now. So what about you?
All right. I want to do the same thing and say Chiefs because, like I said, and how I've been saying earlier, to beat the man, to be the man, you got to beat the man. So I want to say Kansas City, but out. So I'm just gonna keep Kansas City out. But the team outside of Kansas City, I I want to. Wow, am I actually gonna say this team?
Don't say the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm not gonna say the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay. So say, God, we cannot have a Kenny Pickett show on here.
No, I think I'm gonna say Cleveland. No, I'm
Okay.
kidding. I'm kidding.
I,
I think arguably it is. I really do like Jacksonville. I like the Jags. Why? I mean, I think they got boat raced by San Francisco. San Francisco coming off of the bye too, so I thought that was gonna. I didn't think they were gonna win anyway, but they've been competitive against all of the other contenders, right? You lose to Kansas City in a one possession game. You beat Buffalo. I think this week's a really big week for them, though. They do play Houston after Houston kind of trounced them, right? So I think that's the last kind of stepping stone for them. But then you play Baltimore, you play Cleveland. So these next couple weeks, we're going to learn where the Jacksonville Jaguars really are if they want to be a contender or a pretender. So, but I like how their team is set up. They got weapons all over the field, especially with ETN in the backfield. He's been extremely dynamic this year. It's going to come down to whether or not their secondary can kind of hold up.
yeah, that's
So,
been the biggest question mark, all this year, even coming into this year, was their defense.
yeah,
We knew what the offense can be. You got Christian Kirk, you got Zay Jones, you got Calvin Ridley, you got Evan Ingram, Travis Etienne really exploded off this year.
yep.
And you know what Lawrence is going to kind of give you. But on the flip side, it was, okay, what is that defense going to do?
Yeah, and you've
And
got Devin Lloyd, you got Cisco back there. It's going to be between can Trey Herndon can hold up, can Tyson Campbell hold up? It's going to be intriguing to see how that these corners.
yeah, for sure.
They got a pretty solid front seven.
For sure. Yeah. So week 12 coming
Okay.
into it.
Okay.
Of course, we got the three Thanksgiving games. A lot of them spreads, I think, are over 7. I heard check.
All of them are over 7.
Yeah, I think all of them are over 7. Packers, Lions to start the day. Commanders, Washington, or Commanders, and then Cowboys 4:30, and then the night game is 49ers, Seattle, as well. Right off the bat, I think the picks for most people are Lions, Cowboys, Niners.
Correct.
Um,
I think the Seattle game is going to be more entertaining than people think.
I agree. I think as long as Gino plays, I mean that's a big
Yeah,
ticket.
I think that's why the line is so high. I don't think they think Gino's going to be able to make it on a short week.
Agreed. Agreed. But besides that, there's a lot of big matchups potentially that has some playoff implication. I think it's the lowest over under odds I've seen this year. Steelers Bengals at 33 right now. Um,
And you
at,
take the under there.
yeah, yeah,
At 33, you still take the under.
yeah. But We got some potential division leaders at stake with the Jaguars Texans, like you said, a 1 o'clock game.
Mm-hmm.
Could
Big game
lead.
there.
Yeah, we'll. I think that team will lead the AFC South. Whoever is victorious. Saints Falcons. Even though the Falcons should be out of it now at this point, they're not. They still got a chance. If they win and beat the Saints, they will actually be leading the NFC South. Um, Unbelievable
I
stuff.
don't know how your team that division is a
Nobody
nightmare
wants to
this
win that
year.
division.
No one
Nobody wants to
wants it.
lose.
No one wants it.
That's the problem. Nobody wants that division. Another solid game. Browns, Broncos. Broncos are streaking. Browns defense has probably been one of the best defenses in the NFL this year. They're going to head to the Mile High. Going to be a really good game, 4 o'clock. The big matchup at 4:25 though. Bills, Eagles
Yeah.
hosting in Philadelphia at the Lincoln Financial Field. It's going to be rocking. Um, I This is kind of a game though where Eagles going to Chiefs Monday night, a little bit of a smaller week, had the high, beat them. This is when the Bills could come in and maybe smack the Eagles in the face and get a kind of dub here. I think.
I think this is a must win for Buffalo.
Oh yeah, I would agree. I think Buffalo needs to kind of get their act together because, truthfully enough, I think they're a game or 2 games behind. They're a game and a
A
half.
game and a half out, but they still have after this it's Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys, Chargers,
Yep.
and they play the Dolphins in the last week of the year.
Yeah, and the
Like
Dolphins have
they
the
need to
Jets this week.
yeah,
So
like the
I,
Bills
I don't
need to
want to.
keep pace. The Bills need to keep pace.
Yeah, so I could see the Bills going into it. The Bills, they had a nice little division win against the Jets, got themselves back together a little bit. Eagles, like I said, short week they have. They're coming back from the high of winning in Kansas City, beating the Kansas City Chiefs finally in the Super Bowl rematch. Bills come back, maybe they're a little prepared,
Mhm.
punch the Eagles in the mouth a little bit. I could see.
Yep.
And I could see them potentially pulling this game out. Um, Sunday night, we got a really good game, Ravens Chargers. Chargers probably will, in typical fashion, live in the nightmare and lose the game late.
Yep. Doesn't that have a written all over it that Chargers just it are gonna play a great game and still find a way to lose?
Yeah.
It's got
But
that written all over it.
however, the Chargers are, again, like you said with the Bills, are at a must win point now. They have to win.
They gotta run the table.
Yeah, they have to win. And then Monday night, a little bit of a dudder, but could be a decent game. Bears Vikings divisional matchup, but a little bit
Take
more on
the
the better
over
side.
and whatever the combined quarterback rush yards are.
All right, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one there. Yeah, that's a good one there. Yeah, a busy week here with the NFL 3 Thursday games, a Friday game, Black Friday game, 3 o'clock. Miami and the Jets, and then tune in on Sunday. Got a plethora of teams and a couple good games there. So, Blaine, if you had to sit down and lock into one game over this whole weekend, what are you watching?
If I'm locking into one game this weekend, as much as I love my Commanders, it won't be that game.
Uh,
Um, I think I would go. Man, it's close between Bills, Eagles, and I'm gonna say the Jags Texans game because I think that game is first one to 33 wins. I think that game might be a shootout
okay.
because
Um,
Houston's defense isn't great either, but their offense is humming right now.
this
So
CJ Stroud looking good right now.
he looking good.
Mine, actually, I'm going to shock you a little bit here. That Sunday night game, I'm going to be interested in with the Ravens Chargers. I think
That
it could be electric.
it could be. It could be. It's all
I
gonna be
think it,
dependent on how it's gonna come down to Brandon Staley.
yeah, I mean, Ravens defense is really playing good ball, but the Chargers have been notorious for being able to move. Still, their offense being able to move on pretty solid defenses. The Chargers defense is horrific, so Lamar's going to have his day there. So hopefully a high score.
And the Ravens are the worst fourth quarter defense in football, and they're the best first 3 quarters defense in football.
Good, absolutely love it. All right, Blaine, let's get to the game here.
Okay, what we got? What we doing?
I gotta. So we're gonna do. I gotta figure out how do I present. You got me as a host because I probably can't do it.
Probably not. Hold on. I can make you a host.
Christ.
Let's
Doing
see. Advanced sharing options. There you go.
I don't know how
Now
to host.
try it. You
How
can
do I
host
screen
it.
share on this thing?
It should be on the button.
Huh.
It says you can share.
Yeah? How do I
Yeah.
do that? Oh, here it is. I got it. There.
Ah, hey now. Dun 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 dun.
You see my screen?
Oh, we're playing Family Feud? This
We're
is
gonna do
not
a
even.
little.
Oh, God.
We're gonna do a little Family Feud here, huh? Little
Uh,
Family Feud here.
I am
All right,
not.
Blade.
I am not thankful for this game. Look at it. It looks so clean too. This is
Yeah.
probably the best setup we had so far.
Look at it, little Family Feud here, Blaine. I mean, it's just gonna be generic here, sports questions, but I wanted to see how you would do here
All
on
right,
the
I'm about to
Family
fail.
Feud.
I need the Steve Harvey
I don't have that
music.
music. I'm not that good. All right. I'm not that good. So, all right, let's get it rock and rolling here. First question. Name a sport whose athletes wear a hat. All right.
Yeah,
Wear a
baseball.
hat.
Baseball.
What is it? Baseball?
Baseball. Is
All
that
right.
number one?
Baseball. Number one answer at 45 points. Number one answer, 45 points. All right. Let's start out here. Blaine doing well. Doing well here. Doing well here. What do we got here?
Yeah, I don't know what constitutes a hat though, right? Does a helmet count as a hat?
Helmet. No.
Helmet
No.
does not constitute as a hat. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna say golf next.
All right, golf. Number two answer, golf. Golf's the number two answer. Blaine doing well so far for the crew. 75 points here, 75 points.
Tennis.
Tennis. Tennis is number three. Blaine, you are doing outstanding, my friend. We don't have a single strike, and we got two left. Two hardest ones are 4 and 5 here. Can he think
Um,
outside the box a little bit here? Can he think outside the box a little bit here?
cricket.
Cricket, buddy, I'm sorry to put it. That is number one. That is an X. So you
All
are
right.
one down the hatchet.
Let's see. Soccer players wear hats if they're goalies. Does that constitute as a win?
That would constitute as a no. We'll give you two X's right now.
Wow. I'm gonna
One more here, my friend.
oh my
One more
God.
here, my
I'm
friend.
trying to think of another sport. I'm so stupid.
Wow. All right.
Are these two sports really hard? Like are these
Yeah, they're a little more difficult, I would say.
or am I just gonna feel completely incompetent when you say these two sports?
No, the one you're gonna be like, it makes sense, and the other one's gonna be like, I don't know. But we're gonna let you go. See
Hmm.
what he can do here. If he pulls one of these out, actually, I would be impressed. So that's wrong show.
Wrong show. That's Jeopardy, bud.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, I am blanking. I'm just gonna have to throw one out there, I think. I'm
throw it out.
just I know this is not gonna count, but I'll say hockey. I think that's right.
Hockey. No, that's
That's
wrong. That is
wrong.
three strikes. You are
All right,
out, my friend.
what are the two answers?
The two answers are going to be swimming and skiing. Swimming.
Oh, I will give skiing as a hat. Beanie. I didn't think that far ahead with a beanie. A
Swimming.
swim cap does not count as a hat. See, now that I am protesting those last two answers.
Yeah, all right. All right. We're gonna get a little bit easier for you here. I hope you get it right. Question two, we're gonna go.
How many questions do we have?
Three. Just three.
All right. Okay. Name
So,
a professional football team named for an animal.
all
All
right.
right. Lion.
Lion. Third.
Ja
Third answer.
Jack.
Oh, I
You
clicked
just
the
gave him
button.
yeah,
Oh my
Bears,
god.
Dolphins, Lions, Eagles, Panthers, Colts.
I clicked the
Let's
button. My
go. I'm
fault.
so good at this game. I got a
I
perfect
apo-
score on the first one.
I apologize, folks. That's on me. I clicked the button by accident. I hit the button. All right, what's number three? Name a word that a person may yell at the TV while watching a football game.
Are these all clean words? These guys can't
These
be
are
clean
all
words.
clean words, no profanity, my friend.
Run.
Brian, he says. Number two answer.
He's open.
It's a word. One word.
Oh,
Follow the
pass.
direction. Pass. That's one. That's an X.
Tackle.
Tackle. That's two.
What?
Two
How's
X's.
that not?
Two X's. Come on, Blaine.
Name a
Think
word.
about it. Think about it.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. All right, here we go. That's the third answer. 13 points. 13 points. Didn't get the number one answer.
No, I can't, obviously. Name a word that people yell at the TV while watching a football game.
Who strikes
See,
here for Blaine Spencer?
well, and 99% of the time I'm swearing. So if this is clean, I'm not going to know any of these.
Come on. Come on. You got to think about it. I know you can do it.
And it's only one word.
One word.
So
It's a small word, is the first one.
score.
Oh, my God. That's three
What?
strikes. He's
What's
out of here. It's go.
go? Idiot's not even it's a swear word. You can't do that. Foul.
God.
Foul. That's not even. It's flag. It's not foul.
Oh, my
You're thinking
God.
that's basketball right there. You know what? I'm protesting your
Thank
family
you,
feud.
everybody, for coming here.
That
I
was
apologize
absolutely
for the second
awful.
question. That's on me. Blaine's
Yo,
terrible at Family
that
Feud.
third question is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah. Here we are. But that was Family Feud here at the final whistle. Great stuff, man.
I'm an idiot. I look at that. I'll use your family feud word, idiot, and just write to myself.
Great stuff.
All right. Before we wrap up, and it's Thanksgiving. We're in the holiday spirit a little bit. We're both Thanksgiving guys. Give me your top 3 Thanksgiving foods.
Excluding turkey?
No, turkey. You can use turkey.
Oh, turkey.
Turkey. Okay, turkey's your number 1. What else you got?
I'm a big sweet potato casserole guy.
All right. I'm not gonna hate
I
on that.
know it's weird, but like a big sweet potato casserole guy.
Big sweet potato casserole.
Yeah, I do like sweet potato casserole well. Third,
Dun, 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 dun,
and this is
dun.
just me, and because I love it already, I'm a big roll guy. Love the roll.
That was gonna be
Love the
my. All
roll.
right, Hawaiian rolls. Hawaiian rolls are regular rolls. There's a difference.
It don't matter to me. It's
All
just any
right, all
roll,
right,
put in front of me, I'm eating it.
all right. That's fair. Okay, me. So I'm a ham guy, but I'm gonna go all sides. I'm gonna go all sides here.
All right.
Gonna go string bean casserole. String bean casserole, number 1. Absolutely, shout out my mom. That shit is money.
Okay. All right.
um, Hawaiian rolls, big roll guy myself. Hawaiian
Okay.
rolls. Then
Okay.
number 3, you gotta go with the classic turkey stuffing with some gravy.
Wait, what? Turkey
Turkey.
stuffing with the gravy?
Yeah, stuffing. You have stuffing, but it's like the stuffing has turkey in it.
Oh. All right. Stuffing. That's what
Yeah,
you're
so
saying.
stuffing. Yeah, or I'll just say
Okay. I
stuffing.
was like, wait, that's three in one. I'm like,
That's a whole meal right there, right?
yeah, I like that. That could be like my first plate. You know what I mean?
But never can go wrong with a hot turkey sandwich on Black Friday after Thanksgiving.
You're right,
Big
and
sandwich guy after that.
I do agree. However, I did see something on the TikTok app that people actually they took a
TikTok.
tortilla. Listen to this. They took a tortilla and they the stuffing before it goes in the water, like if you make it like it's the pre-made stuff
Of
before it
course.
goes in the water, it's hard. So you lay
Yeah.
that out on a plate
Hmm.
and you take the tortilla, put a little gravy on the back of it, and then
Okay.
put it on the stuffing, coat the back of it. And if you put it in the oven, like 400 degrees, and let it dangle so it turns into like a hard taco, let it dangle for, 5 minutes, 7 minutes to crisp up a little bit, buddy. And then you put your turkey in there, you put your stuffing, you put the cranberry sauce in there. You got a little turkey taco.
Turkey taco.
It's not bad, huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
That almost sounds like more of like a taquito.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that, but I mean, we'll see. We'll
All
see.
right. TikTok teaching us things.
Yeah, every once in a while it does. So, but yeah, no, great stuff. I'm excited for Thanksgiving. I'm actually playing a little football tomorrow morning.
Are you? The little turkey bowl?
Yeah, a little turkey ball action. So we'll see
And
how we
we
do.
playing flag or we playing tackle?
No, we're playing like two-hand touch. I said, buddy. Buddy asked me, I was like, "Hey, you want to play? You want to play a little turkey ball?" I was like, "Yeah." Does it mean it's a tackle though? And he's like, "No, it's two-hand touch." Like, all right, then that's fine. I said, "If it's tackle, I'm not playing. I ain't got time for that like that." I'm probably gonna pull a hamstring, knowing my luck already.
What's the position gonna be tomorrow? What are we playing?
Trying quarterback. I trying to play
Are
quarterback.
you gonna step back under center?
I mean, I can sling the rock a little bit. I'll tell you that. I'm usually was a pinpoint guy, precision accuracy. You know what I mean? When you played like when you played Madden '05 and Peyton Manning's thing was this big, like that's how I was. Back in the day, slinging.
uh, don't have the arm strength. Definitely a Brock
No.
Purdy style quarterback. Gotta
Oh yeah.
gotta anticipate where the wide receiver is gonna be.
Oh yeah. 17 yards max is what I'm throwing. That's it. If it's anything over, it's hitting the ground or picked off. It is what it is. But I'm gonna have these kids out here running routes. I'm gonna have we're gonna have a wide receiver tree out here. I'm gonna give them a number like 1 through 5. One's a streak, two's a curl. Like I'm gonna start giving them the signs
Just
like at the line of
absolutely
scrimmage.
shifting. Call it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, let's go. Shift.
yeah, I gotta see if you're playing man. Like, yo, you're shifting the right, left here. If they're playing man, I'm gonna find the open guy. If not, if it's a zone, you're gonna sit down a spot. I mean, it's gonna be incredible stuff. Incredible stuff.
I want.
I even have a goal line play already in mind. We're gonna be ready. We're gonna win this. We're gonna win these games. It's gonna be unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah,
You know what? I need you to record your stats tomorrow so we can talk about it next week.
you got it. 400 yards, 3 picks, 3
Oh,
touchdowns.
wow. Absolutely elite.
Just
Gunslinger
swinging.
mentality. Absolute Brett Favre mentality tomorrow.
Absolutely. That's what we're looking at here, buddy. That's what we're looking at here. So yeah, now I'm excited. Love the holiday. And then chow down on some food and watch football after. So
Right on. Right on. It sounds like it'll be a good Thanksgiving for you.
hell yeah. Hell yeah. So
Well, all right, everybody. We're gonna wrap it up for this week's episode. It's gonna be a fun time. Everyone, again, uh, from the Final Whistle Sports Podcast, we want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you so much. We are thankful for you guys for supporting us and tuning in, week out. So appreciate the love. Um, go watch some football. Go eat some good food. It's fun times now. Holiday season basically in at its peak right now with Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's all around the corner. So enjoy your week. The final whistle is tuning off. Have a great rest of your week.